ACW is sponsored by Jabati. Self-care through skincare. Jabati is for everybody. Welcome to ACW Podcast. I am Robin Gabriel-Parson, your host. And on today's show, we are featuring an excerpt of the Biology of Connection podcast, narrated by Dr. Gary Gabriel, life science expert. Dr. Gabriel will be discussing how the body reacts to stress and the natural ways to alleviate stress from our body. We honor and thank everyone in the fight for social justice. Teachers, healthcare workers, and all of you in high-risk jobs. We know it's stressful, so we have a gift of thanks from us to you. For more information, visit JabadiBody.com. That is JABODIBODY.com. You're listening to ACW Podcast. I'm Robin Gabriel-Parson, your host. Our special co-host is Dr. Gary Gabriel, life science expert.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Gary Gabriel. I'm here every week to give you some insight into how your body works and what you should be doing to make it work better, make it feel better. Today, we're going to be talking about stress. And we all know that we live in some stressful times. We have a COVID crisis, a pandemic before us. We have an election coming up. We have our own jobs. We have our own family. And all of that, your body is a walking sensor, taking in all of these different things and much, much more, and using biology to show how these things allow you to move and respond to the stress that's around you. So in this edition, we're going to kind of give sort of a top-level view, and then in subsequent editions each week, we'll talk about the biology of connection and some of the things that you can do. So let's look at stress. All of us are wired within our bodies to produce a whole range of different types of stress chemicals. These chemicals are called hormones, and these chemicals can act on different parts of our body and make us feel and perform certain ways. Your body makes a full range of these different compounds. Adrenaline is one. Cortisol is a very, 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 very big one. Glucocorticoid releasing factor is another very, very strong one. There's probably 20 to 30 different chemical compounds that can be released based on the types of stress that you experience. So you might experience short-acting stress or continual stress. For instance, the CDC has listed and mentioned that racism is a public health crisis. And there are numerous medical articles in the New England Journal of Medicine and others which shown that that social stress can influence things like blood pressure and various disease states, diabetes, and learning. So we live in a world that exposes us to various stresses, and we have to look at ways of handling those aspects.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there are a lot of activities and awareness around breast cancer. Our topic for the month of October is living and thriving through breast cancer. I'm so excited about our co-host that'll be here speaking on the panel about this topic. We're going to start our conversation off with Dr. Gary Gabriel. Many of you have already heard him through the self-care, skincare episodes. But Dr. Gabriel has done extensive research on breast cancer and stress. So I'm looking forward to that conversation, and I'm hoping all of my listeners are tuned in the month of October, our Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You're listening to ACW Podcast. I'm Robin Gabriel-Parson, your host. Our special co-host is Dr. Gary Gabriel, life science expert.
Stress can be fairly profound, and the chemicals that are produced by the brain and go out, some of those I just mentioned a moment ago, can have profound changes on the brain, on your memory. They can affect things like learning. They can affect cognition. They can even put you at higher risk for disease states like cancer and diabetes, hypertension. And one of the biggest aspects, they can actually expose your immune system, weaken your immune system, which will put you at higher risk for even as something as easy as a common cold by having a repressed immune system. So what we simply have to do is look at ways of handling our stress. And some of those ways are external, and some of those ways are internal. Externally, one of the things that we've done as part of Your Body Natural Products is that we have a movement within Your Body Natural Products, and what we do there is that we believe that self-care is a way of helping to manage stress. We believe the whole concept of touch and conversation can accelerate a calmness and at the same time facilitate a reduction of stress hormones. Like, for instance, when you look at a hormone such as cortisol, cortisol is a major stress hormone. When we are in fight or flight, or we're under consistent stress conditions, cortisol levels can rise. And the key is that once the stress stimuli remove themselves, those cortisol levels actually can be reduced. But even disease conditions like obesity can be associated with elevated levels of cortisol. That's actually been shown in the literature. So one of the things that is really important is for us to really understand that, realize it, and really look at how do we manage our cortisol levels. One is through diet. There are some dietary things that you can do to kind of stabilize your hormone levels. And one of the things that I do is that I take in a lot of green vegetables. I do a lot of low sugar smoothies that contain things like spinach that can help maintain and repress cortisol levels. Cranberry juice. I make a cranberry juice, beet juice. Those things can help reduce cortisol levels. And if cortisol levels remain high, what actually happens is that it can take any glucose that you consume, any sugars that you consume, and push those into a fat metabolism mode, which explains also why stress can contribute to things like overeating and can contribute to fat synthesis. So, looking at again ways of managing stress or ways of controlling cortisol levels is a really, really good thing. And what we're going to talk about is specific things that you can do. So, like I said, Your Body Natural Products, we developed a line of products that can allow people to use our skin nourishment, body creams, really as a mechanism of stress management through kind of taking care of your skin. By taking care of your skin and kind of touching your skin, you get into a state of calmness, or you sort of stabilize any stressful situation and that can help bring those cortisol levels down. And that's what we're about. And we're going to talk about stories in our upcoming episodes of The Biology of Connection, and do interviews and look at individuals that will look at specific areas of stress and what they did to manage stress. So what I've done in this short period of time is kind of giving you a sort of a plateau, a common point that we can all meet and agree that stress is a bad thing, and 2, that we must manage it, and 3, there are things that we can do to manage it. In our next episode, we're going to start to talk about specific stress chemicals and really going into what they may be doing on specific disease states. And then after that, we're going to talk to specific individuals about things that they do or things that they're experiencing in a state of stress, and then how did they manage stress moving forward. So I hope to have you guys join us in the future. We look to be an information source. We'll talk a little bit about our products as a tool of stress management. But we want this to be about you and the things that you're going through, and hopefully giving you information on how to manage stress moving forward. With that being said, this is Dr. Gary Gabriel for Jabati Natural Products. I hope to see you guys next time on the biology of connection. Take care.
You're listening to ACW Podcast. I'm Robin Gabriel-Parson, your host. Our special co-host is Dr. Gary Gabriel, life science expert. Yes, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And it's very important. I'm going to end on that note, how important that is. So, Gary, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you.
If you want to leave our audience with any other information, please do so. How to get in touch with you, please do so.
We really encourage people, if you want to sample our product, just go to our website. Like I said, it's JabodiBody, JABODIBODY.com. Hit the Talk to Us tab, which is right at the top of the homepage. And you can fill out a form and say, hey, I'd like to sample a little bit of Jabodi, and we'll send you a sample. Again, like as Robin mentioned, we don't have additives in our product. Our product is very minimalistic, but it is minimalistic in number of components, but it is very, very rich in skin enriching and nutrient components. And we realize that we all need a focus on self-care. So we added in the olfactory neuroactives to kind of just give you a pleasant experience while you are nourishing your skin. So we hope you engage with our product. We love all of anyone that contacts us. We consider you family, and we engage. We have you can reach me at Gary at JA-BODI.com. So that's Gary at JA-BODI.com. And again, Rob, I thank you for inviting us. And like I said, we love this stuff. We live this stuff every day. And like I said, we're not just throwing stuff in a bottle and hoping it smells good and you go home and throw it on your skin and it causes damage. Our goal is to help and to nourish and to educate. And with that being said, Robin, again, I thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. And thank you, audience, for listening in. We'll see you next Wellness Wednesday. So live your life with purpose and intention. But most of all, live it with the Jabati experience. Thank you. This has been an ACW podcast. We thank you for listening. We hope that you tune in to our next October Wellness Wednesday as we explore and discuss living and thriving with breast cancer. You have been listening to the Awareness, Culture, and Wellness podcast. We thank you for joining us, and we hope that you tune in to our next Wellness Wednesday as we discuss topics that heals the mind, body, and spirit. Until next time, I'm Robin Gabriel-Parson, your ACW podcast host. ACW is sponsored by Jabati. Self-care through skincare. Jabati is for everybody.